WD Blue SN570 Review. The WD Blue SN570 is a good choice for capacity size versus price, but for improved performance, an upgrade to IPSI 3.0 or IPSI 4.0 drive will give you great value. We should put this IPSI 3.0 X4 drive's value into perspective by noting its bandwidth limitations, which make it lag behind the many IPSI 4.0 X4 drives that are on the market today. Let's check out its speeds and get a clearer picture of how this works. The WD Blue SN570 does extremely well for its grade. During our test of the 1TB model, we measured recursive read speeds of 3,617 MB per second and serial writes of 3,195 MB per second. These figures outpace the suggested rating set by WD. Additionally, in random activities it performs remarkably with 1,892 MB per second reads and 1,867 MB per second writes on Crystal Disk Mark at a Q depth of 32. Despite these sequential speeds surpassing those of the Samsung 980 which lacks a DRAM cache, random functions are slightly underwhelming in comparison to Samsung's drives. An area where Samsung still holds sway even though they are behind in successive performance. Regrettably for Western Digital, Samsung isn't at the head of the pack in terms of velocities or cost. The SK Hynix Gold P31 is faster in almost every regard, but it trails behind sequential reads by 15 MB per second. As well, it is roughly the same value while having twofold the ruggedness. Looking at IPSI 4.0 models, we can still see significant performance benefits compared to the SN570, and prices are often similar or only moderately higher. An example is PNY's XLR8CS3040, with performance reaching 5,600 MB per second read and 4,300 MB per second write speeds, which roughly matches the 1TB SN570 in price but costs even less for a 2TB drive. Silicon Power's US70 follows a similar pattern of pricing. The Silicon Power XS70 is one of the newest and fastest Gen 4 SSDs around, with incredibly fast 7,300 MB per second sequential reads and 6,800 MB per second writes. Despite this impressive speed, more than double that of the SN570, prices for a 1TB model are only $20 higher and 2TB models are just $10 more. Therefore, the slight price increase is a small one to pay for increased performance as well as 100 additional drive writes worth of endurance. The WD Blue SN570, with its 500 GB capacity, boasts an incredible 10 cents per gigabyte value that helps it stand out from more expensive and faster options. Despite being relatively underutilized, WD opted for a larger M.2 2280 form factor rather than a smaller M.2 2242 version which could have been more suitable for laptop and Steam Deck users. The WD Blue SN570 is an inexpensive option for upgrading your capacity to 500 GB, particularly if you're on a tight budget. The WD Blue SN570 is designed for everyday use, so you shouldn't experience any lagging or slowdowns unless you have more intense computing needs. WD Blue SN570 is a good deal at its regular price, but you can get more value out of it if you find any sale or discount offers. That way, it will be easier to choose this over other faster SSDs that don't have such promotions.